Hiya. We're hearing a lot about the Man United rebuild, that United are going to be rebuilt. They're going to get a director of football. They're going to try to sort their recruitment out. I have no faith in the owners of Manchester United to actually complete this task. I think they've interfered in transfers. I know that Ed Woodward picked some players, and the problem they have is that not only are you against teams that don't have debt, have richer owners. They're also better football clubs. They're also operated in a better way. So United have the name, they have the prestige, but they haven't just bought one or two players who are wrong. They've bought 20, 30, 40 players who just haven't worked out. And therefore, it means that you're buying the wrong players. Like, I'd be interested to know what checks are carried out on the personality of the player, what checks are carried out on his temperament, on his professionalism, and also on his injury record. United have got a horrendously bad injury record. Seem to have a lot of players who have quite a lot of muscular injuries and who sign for United and seem to be injured. Like Varane's a case in point. He came with much of that fanfare, and he's basically not had a run of games. He's been injured all season. And so, who looked at his injury record? And United are also, been linked with players like Usman Dembele. I don't think they'll buy him, but other players who have got a terrible injury record. So I don't think that you can compete with City or Liverpool. I don't think it's just a matter of money. It's a matter of expertise. If you forget the training ground and you forget the stadium for a minute, if you really want to compete with those players, then you need to have an infrastructure in place that means that you buy players. You also need for your manager to be able to finish sixth or seventh and not be sacked because you're carrying on a long-term project. And the single biggest reason why I don't think United will go through with the rebuild is the debt. United owe £600 million, there or thereabouts. They pay around 25 to 30 million pounds in interest payments per year. The Glazier family are taking out anywhere between 15 to 25 million pounds a year. So Man United really need Champions League football, and in order to rebuild the club, you may miss out on Champions League football for one or two seasons and then have the ability to come back and be a stronger unit and an organised club that's got a good infrastructure. I actually think that even Arsenal have surpassed us. I don't think Arsenal have got better players than Manchester United, but they're a better team. The manager's got power, and look what happened with Aubameyang, probably their highest paid player. They backed the manager. They got rid of him. And United need to do that. The manager needs to become the single most important person at the club, followed by the director of football and the technical directors, and then the players need to play as a team. I don't think that Man United want that to happen because another issue that United have, the Glazers are fascinated with Galacticos. They're fascinated with players like Ronaldo, players like Varane, players like Schweinsteiger, players who have a social media following, who they can leverage on the back of, and who they can make money from. And I think until you address all the issues I've talked about, the rebuild's a PR thing. They'll throw some money at it and they might finish top four next season. But to fundamentally challenge City and Liverpool, no way. Under Glazier ownership, it's not going to happen. The Glaziers want power. They want power. And if you want an anecdote for why they want and have sought power, when Sir Alex Ferguson left, one of the reasons why they bought Paul Pogba was as a power play against Sir Alex Ferguson. They wanted to show Sir Alex Ferguson who's in charge, and they did. But it's been a disaster because they bought a player that's slow on the ball, and he's obviously world class, but doesn't fit the English game. He's not good enough, or he's not quick enough. He's not good enough defensively, and he's not creative enough to justify him being a number 10. So basically, you spent 90 million quid, God knows how much in wages, God knows how much in fees for his agent, had to tolerate his behaviour for 3 years of completely disrespecting the club for what? So you could power play against the greatest manager in history. So unless the Glaziers leave, this rebuild rebuild, which is a PR operation, will be unsuccessful. Mark my words. You can buy all the players you want without the power of the manager to go to the star player and say, I'm selling you right now. You can never be successful. I promise you, there is something dictatorial about organisations that run properly. It sounds terrible, but there is something dictatorial about it. Sir Alex Ferguson was a dictator. Guardiola and Klopp, no players bigger than them. They're dictators, and Arteta's in that position. And Arsenal will prosper because of it. And I'm telling you about that. And if Conte gets that power from the board at Tottenham, they'll prosper as well. Mark my words.